This week in Northern California, the ladies take center stage with a national championship up for grabs. The top 3 ranked players in the field at Cordoval all have their eyes on the same prize.
I think this opens up to not one type of player. It's not only for a long hitter or a straight hitter. I think you just need a blend of both.
The course is in amazing shape and it's a great layout, and I get to hit a lot of drivers, which is nice, so we'll see.
I'm hoping this year, coming off the major championship win a few weeks ago and playing pretty well, hopefully good things will happen.
Is this the week for U.S. Women's Open champions Paula Creamer or Michelle Wie to win their second major title? Plenty on tap, a lot to discuss. We will cover it all as Golf Central begins right now.
Golf Central, brought to you by Titleist.
For the 4th time in the last 6 years, Castle Stewart Golf Links will play host to the Aberdeen Asset Management Scottish Open. The last time it was played here was back in 2013 when Phil Mickelson won in a playoff over Brandon Grace. We will hear from Phil a little bit later in the show as Damon Hack caught up with the 5-time major champion. A big week on tap in the golfing world as the European Tour has the Scottish Open, while the ladies have their 3rd major of the season with the U.S. Women's Open. Youth certainly being served on the LPGA Tour. Lydia Ko ranked #1 in the world, 2 career major titles under her belt, and not even 20 years of age. Brooke Henderson, just 18 years old, won the most recent major at Sahalee last month in that exciting playoff over Lydia Ko. And the elder statesman, if you will, Lexi Thompson, 21 years of age, a winner of the ANA Inspiration back in 2014. For more on what to expect this week, we go out to California and join our Lisa Cornwell, who is on site at the USGA's Marquee Championship for the women. Lisa?
Well, Burko, you said it best just now that youth is definitely being served in the women's game right now. And it isn't just Lydia Ko and Brooke Henderson. You mentioned Lexi Thompson as well. But here's another nugget for you. 1 month ago, when Anna Norquist won in Atlantic City at the age of 28, she was the oldest winner on tour so far this season by a whopping 5 years. So a lot of young players definitely shining. But of course, the focus right now on world #1, Lydia Ko, world #2, Brooke Henderson. And you mentioned world #4, Lexi Thompson. They're all major champions. And they say that they're enjoying what they're all 3 doing for the game right now, and they look forward to watching each other continue to shine.
It's just really cool. I mean, Brooke's #2, Lexi's #3, I think. So, you know, we just passed our teens or still in our teens. I think it's really cool. I think it can, grow the game. I saw a stat yesterday saying that, you know, when Brooke won the Portland Classic last year, she was like 70th in the world, and now in a similar time of the year, now she's #2. So I think, you know, it just shows how, you know, things can change within those certain times, and, you know, it's just great, you know, because she's such a friendly player too, you know, besides all the great golf she's doing. So I think this is great for our tour, and great for the women's game. And, you know, I think the difference is that she's a nice person, and, you know, I think that's why, you know, a lot of people like her and, you know, love that she's playing great golf.
It'll be really fun. You know, we're playing together on Thursday, and like you said, we're all playing really well. We've all had pretty awesome seasons and years in the past, and it's really cool, you know, getting to know them a little bit better, and just, you know, they're the best players in the world, and getting to compete and play with them and get to know them is really a dream come true.
I think it's great for our tour. Just it's getting younger and younger, and that's what we want to see. That's why we have all these golf programs that we're all involved with, and we want to see the game grow. It's great to play with Brooke and Lydia. They're such great players, and great for golf, and their personalities on and off the golf course definitely help the game.
Here to provide a little more perspective and insight, golfchannel.com senior writer Randall Mell. Randall, I'm going to put you on the spot. You got to predict a winner, and we're going those 3 right now because I think certainly at this point they're the favorites.
Yeah, I can see why. And, you know, Lydia's the short hitter in this grouping, really the short hitter. Lexi's the longest hitter on tour. Brooke Henderson's the 12th longest hitter. Lydia's not in the top 100, but Lydia's #1 in the world for a reason, and that's her ability to get the ball in the hole in fewer strokes than anybody else. She's #1 in scoring on tour. She's #1 in putting, and Lydia will make mistakes, but she'll clean it up better than anybody else. She's has the best short game out here until NB Park gets back, and then it's the two of them.
Well, when you look at the other two players, though, you throw some other stats into the mix. Nobody makes more birdies than Brooke Henderson. Nobody hits the ball farther than Lexi Thompson. So with all that in mind, who do you think has the brightest future?
The brightest future. Wow, they all have bright futures, obviously. They have, it's bright right now. But I'm going to go with Lydia Ko again, and the reason for that is, you know, when I talk to other coaches out here, coaches of other players, they all admire about Lydia Ko. They all admire her skills, her short game, her iron play, everything. But the thing they always talk about is Lydia's head. It's this calmness, this poise, almost this zen-like ability that she has. And if I asked them, what quality would you most like your player to have that Lydia has, it's always the head. And I think that's what separates Lydia right now.
I think we would all like to have that, plus Lexi's length and Brooke's aggressiveness. But Randall, we appreciate that. We'll be back. Well, they haven't talked about, or they haven't captured a U.S. Open. Those three ladies will be back later in the show to talk about some of the veterans out here who have and hear what they have to say about this championship. Burko.
Lisa, Randall, thanks so much. And with that, we are off and running, officially welcoming you into this edition of Golf Central. Steve Burkowski and Brian Bateman with you. And Brian, so much to get into in the next hour. And let's start with the ladies. Lisa and Randall just touched on that talented trio. Hard to go wrong if you choose any of them for this week and moving forward. But what maybe in particular are you looking for one of those this week?
Well, and I think Lisa put it best. It would be fun to have a combination of all three: Lexi's length, Brooke's fearlessness, and then Lydia's demeanor. But I'm kind of with Randall on this. I think that the way that Lydia Ko carries herself on the golf course, this is going to be a very trying week for the women. The USGA, they're probably going to push the edge, have the rough up, have the greens firm, and the way she handles herself when things are a little bit difficult. None of these women know the golf course very well, so it's going to be someone who plays within themselves, and I think Lydia does that best. She sticks to her game plan. Tremendous wedge player, great putter, and she has the success this past year and last year to back it up. I think she's going to be tough to beat.
Just 19 years of age, already twice a major champion, and maybe a bit more of a resume. We've seen her play such great professional golf for the last 4 or 5 years. Maybe Brooke Henderson, not as much of a sample size, but coming off that major at Sahalee, what do you expect from her this week and throughout the rest of the year?
Well, she's got a lot of confidence right now. She played some tremendous golf last week. And remember, she beat Lydia Ko at the KPMG in a playoff. So, you know, she's got the confidence. The only weakness really that Brooke has statistically is her accuracy off the tee. She's 111th on the LPGA Tour in accuracy, so she can just keep the ball in the fairway a little bit better. But we talked about it last night. She's a fearless putter, and at 18 years of age, which isn't saying much because Lydia's 19 and Lexi's 21, but a fearless putter that's not afraid to take the breakout, hit putts farm, especially down the stretch, just like she did last week in Portland. So she's got a lot going in her favor as well, but I think she needs to shore up her accuracy off the tee. Young, talented, and all major champions. From the youngsters to a 5-time major champion, time to turn back the clock to 1998. Where Se-Ri Pak was just then 18 years old, bursting onto the scene with her victory at Black Wolf Run. At the time, Pak was the only South Korean on the LPGA Tour. That won her the U.S. Women's Open Championship, her second major title, on her way to winning 25 times on tour. She is in this week on an exemption, as she announced earlier this year that she will retire.
Well, I feel like since '98 is already 18 years ago. I can't believe it, that going so fast. I feel like yesterday. Always been, no matter what, this is probably the best tournament. And it probably here, everybody actually look forward to do that, everybody just look forward to be here. And so do I, actually. It's always great, you know. I'm here, I feel I'm strong, I'm ready, and I have a lot of confidence going on. And you know, sometimes you're kind of testing your patience too at the golf course, and at the same time you knew about the game of golf. So it's just really exciting to be here, and especially such a great golf course every single year. So I'm very excited.
Se-Ri Pak certainly transcended the game on the LPGA Tour. Remember when she won in 1998 at Black Wolf Run, the only South Korean on the LPGA. Now look at it, 10 players ranked inside the top 20 in the Rolex Women World Golf Rankings. 18 other major championships won by 11 different players. NB Park with 7. And we talked about Ko, Thompson, Henderson, all those victories. South Koreans have won 6 out of 19 events on the LPGA in 2016. Paula Creamer and Michelle Wie both have one major title on their resumes as past U.S. Women's Open champions. What are their chances for a second this week? And 3 years ago, it was this summer of Phil Mickelson in Scotland as he won the Scottish Open and the Open in back-to-back weeks. Can he duplicate that feat in 2016? We will discuss when Golf Central continues.
Golf Central is brought to you by the Titleist Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Make a difference in your game.